Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is Bill McFadden from Tone Pure Music. And in this video, we're going to get into how to design a sci-fi mystery drama cue. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll preview the cue. And here it is.
What, Sarah? I feel like torching a place.
I just hope the auction tomorrow will cover everything he owes, you know? God, this sucks. Dad's been missing 7 years, and what we need to sell his house? I can't stay long. I've got stuff to do later anyway.
I think this takes priority over your group therapy sessions. You need to be here.
Don't tell me what to do with my life.
The old man liked you better. I think you'd be happy to help.
I didn't even know he was back in town. You were the last one who talked to him. God. This place is a mess. I can't even see straight. Hey. Hey, Mom. Yeah. Yeah, David's here. I don't know why either. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, look, it's my one day off and I have to go to work later and I've only got 2 hours and he's in there like tearing the place apart like he owns it and he doesn't. Just listen to me. Listen to me. God, you don't listen to me. That's your problem, Mom. Fine. I'm out of here, David. You deal with this. What was that?
Beats me. Some sort of meter.
David! David!
David.
What do I do?
I don't know. Did you hear that? It said Sarah.
What is wrong with my brother?
He loved you. Sarah! David!
Who are you?
Get out! Go away!
Who are you? How do you know us?
It's me. It's me, Dad.
I knew he was still alive. Probably skipped out on the money he owes so we clean up his mess.
Dad, where are you? What's going on?
You.
I'll be coming.
Talking about?
David, Sarah, get out.
Yeah, Dad, you know what? You left us high and dry. Now you need to explain yourself.
I can't come back. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm stuck here. You need to destroy this thing.
What? What? No, destroy this thing.
So what happens to you?
I'll be gone.
You can't do that, Dad.
David! Break this! You'll mess up everything! Time! Sequence! Chase!
Oh my God, what's happening?
No, Dad, don't leave us! What the hell, Sarah?
So there we have the cue. And as you can tell, it was a combination of instruments and special effects. And also, just starting off the cue, let's go ahead and we'll get into the libraries that I used and also some of the ideas that I used. So going back to the beginning, the first thing we notice is a motor to start off the cue, and also we notice there is a piano motif that's being used in the beginning. So as far as the libraries are concerned, the motor that I used was coming from Morphestra. So let's go ahead and take a look at that interface. So we see the particular patch that I use is Mystery Castle. And you have a lot of potential patches in Morphestra 2. But you sort of have to search for the one that the motor, a pulse that you want to use for your cue. So let me show you what note. Here we go. So that basically is, as you can see, it goes up depending as you go up in the keyboard, the pitch goes up. So that gives the cue a sense of forward momentum because there's really not a whole lot going on. He's rummaging through his dad's garage. So as you see, there's a sort of a climax right there as she enters in the door. And we're actually using this library, Scary Strings, which is by Spitfire. And if you'll notice, we use that sound when she enters the door the first time and also at the end of the cue. So it really references back to that moment, which is the beginning of the time loop. As you can tell from the cue, we start out and this device somehow puts them into a time loop. So
For us.
I just hope the auction tomorrow will cover everything he owes, you know?
now some of the background strings that are being used are EVO2 and also EVO1, and they're also from Spitfire. Here's EVO1. Let's take a look at the interface. Oh, by the way, let me show you the interface of Scary Strings. And this is a relatively inexpensive library from Spitfire. So, and when you play the library, so when you hit a note, it basically continues playing different harmonics from that string. And let's take a look at EVO 1. So this is a bit of a different library, and you have these different articulations that you can combine together. But very ethereal the way they sound. Now EVO2 was the next library in succession, also by Spitfire. And you can change the way it sounds by choosing different points in the grid. So again, sort of an ethereal sound. And then, so we used EVO1, EVO2 initially, and also the Morphestra as a motor or a pulse for the cue. And then as it progresses,
Dad's been missing 7 years, and what we need to sell his house. I can't stay long. I've got stuff to do later anyway.
I think this takes priority over your group therapy sessions. You need to be here.
Don't tell me what to do with my life.
The old man liked you better. I think you'd be happy to help.
I didn't even know he was back in town. You were the last one who talked to him.
so the piano I used for the motive that was coming in and out is the Vienna Ensemble Bosendorfer, called the Vienna Imperial.
This place is a mess.
So then we have the cello answering the piano. And the cello that was used was also by Vienna Symphonic Library. So the solo cello, which you can see down here, preset level 1. So the Vienna instruments have a really clear sounding string solo in general, and really all their patches are really crystal clear. And you can add velocity crossfade if you want. This one doesn't have it because there weren't a lot of dynamic changes in the cue for cello. So that's playing the motif as well. And as we continue on...
I can't even see straight. Hey. Hey, Mom. Yeah. Yeah, David's here. I don't know why either. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, look, it's my one day off and I have to go to work later and I've only got 2 hours and he's in there.
Okay, now this sound was used as a transition from the garage to her being outdoors. And if you'll notice the library I used was Signal, just one of the patches. Very useful library for different kinds of sounding patches. And here's what the interface looks like. I used just a whisper patch. So you have lots of effects that you can throw in. The pulse, you can make it a little less prominent or more prominent. You can add more reverb or less. You can add a little bit of distortion to it. Slightly detune it. So it has a lot of nice sounds and also interesting effects that you can add to it. You can change the rhythmic pattern a little slower. But this is not a tutorial on how to use Signal, but it is a very useful library and one that was used in the cue. Now, then we'll go back to the garage.
Tearing the place apart like he did, and he does it.
And then once we get back in the garage, the motor is back that we're using from Morphestra as he's rummaging through the garage.
Just listen to me. Listen to me.
Once again, the signal is used as a transition and the motor stops when we go outside.
God, you don't listen to me. That's your problem, Mom.
And once again, the motor starts once we get back in the garage. So it gives you a little bit of continuity. And here comes the motive. The cello answering.
Fine.
Signal coming in again. The motor coming in again. String motive. Cello answering. Okay, now we have another special effect from gravity, an atonal effect. Here's a copy of gravity. Let's go back just a tad. One of the things about this Nectar interface, it's nice, but have to unplug it and plug it to get it to respond. Okay, here we go.
Hours, and he's in there like tearing the place apart like he did, and he doesn't. Just listen to me. Listen to me. God, you don't listen to me. That's your problem, Mom. Fine.
Okay, there we are, the gravity atonal. Here it is. Actually, use quite a few instances of gravity. So here's the atonal. So as you see, there's a lot of different. Let's take a look at the interface. So here we go. This was the patch atonal on textures 1. And the note that was actually used, if we go to the MIDI information, actually a very high note there, C6. And we were, it looks like E above C6. Of course, there it is. It's actually E7. Because these indication that C6 there is actually C7 on the keyboard. Okay. So there's your interface. Another powerful engine, gravity.
I'm out of here, David. You deal with this.
Beats me. Some sort of meter.
So we see gravity atonal kicking in. Also a copy of gravity aggressive. which is right here, which is giving you that pulsing note, which sort of is simulating a special effect for electronics. Here we go.
David!
David.
What do I do?
I don't know. Did you hear that? It said Sarah.
What's wrong with my brother?
He loves you. Sarah! David!
Who are you?
Get out! Go away!
Who are you? How do you know us?
It's me. It's me, Dad.
I knew he was still alive. Probably skipped out on the money he owes so we clean up his mess.
Dad, where are you? What's going on?
To you.
I'll be coming.
What are you talking about?
David, Sarah, get out.
Yeah, Dad, you know what? You left us high and dry. Now you need to explain yourself.
Dad?
I can't come back. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm stuck here. You need to destroy this thing.
What? No, destroy this thing.
So what happens to you?
I'll be coming.
You can't do that, Dad.
Now, if you notice, so a lot of gravity patches are being used, the gravity atonal, gravity odd textures, gravity aggressive, and then just gravity. So many patches from the Gravity Engine. Here's a copy of Gravity. But one of the things you may have noticed as the cue is going along, all of the levels in the mixer are not too high, okay? They're starting to get high now because we're getting towards the climax of the cue. But
David, break this. You'll mess up everything. Time, sequence, space.
Oh my God, what's happening?
No, Dad, don't leave us! What the hell, Sarah?
so that's that signature sound again from the scary strings that actually, that scene where she comes into the door is being echoed once again to tie it in to the beginning. Now, the other thing I used was the UAD Lexicon 224 for the reverb, which looks like this. As you can see, we're using a small hall for the reverb. And then if we go over to the mixer, a big view, then in terms of sends, you see there were several instruments where I inserted it just to give it the scary strings, the EVO1, the EVO2, the Morphestra, and also signal and the cello, just to give it some ambience and glue those instruments together. And the other patches had enough reverb in them where it wasn't needed. So that'll wrap up our glimpse at how to orchestrate and to a certain extent mix a sci-fi drama mystery cue. So Bill McFadden from Tone Pure Music. If you like this video, please click like. And if you wish to be notified when new videos appear, please subscribe. So Bill McFadden from Tone Pure Music, signing out.